Hey buddy, it's Crazy Guitar and welcome back to some more Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. In the last one, we went through Classic mode, running through as Dark Pit, another newcomer to the game, and another clone fighter. This time around, we're going to be heading to Classic mode as yet another of basically the same category, a clone fighter and another newcomer, Lucina, who is of course going to be a clone of Marth. So to start things off, Lucina is of course an unlockable character in both versions of this game, but in Wii U, you have to either play 30 versus matches or clear Classic mode on intensity 5.5 or higher, and Lucina must be defeated on Coliseum. So real quick, just go over her palette swaps. We got the standard Lucina outfit right here. We've got a more greenish outfit. This is, I think, some of these actually represent like or references to different characters in the Fire Emblem series. We got this outfit right here, more green outfits. We've got a red and black outfit here. We've got a red, white outfits. We've got green hair, but more of like a pink and white outfit. We've got a blonde look with I almost said silver. A gold outfit. We got a full-on black outfit as well, and then more like a grayish, more like I guess purple pink color to her. But yeah, that's about it for Lucina. Let's go ahead as per usual on 7.0 and see how things go. So as you could probably imagine, obviously it is Lucina, newcomer into the game, coming in from Fire Emblem Awakening, and yeah, I mean like, kind of in the same range, kind of in the same scenarios like Pit, funny enough, or Dark Pit. They both originated in a 3DS game. That's the only game they've been in at the time of Smash 4 being out, and now they're both clone fighters in Smash and also both newcomers. So it's very fitting that they're kind of put in the same category, or they have so many similarities there. But as you could imagine, Lucina is of course a clone of Marth, a very heavy clone of Marth. Not as big of a clone of Marth as like Dark Pit is to Pit. I mean, we'll go over the specifics of it in a moment. But yeah, she's still a clone of Marth. And no way, I tried like for 5 years to get that stupid star and didn't want to show up for me, or didn't want to come to me. That's very nice. Oh, come on. There we go. Uppy kill. On Game Watch, get out of here, Zelda. Don't you dare be juggling me. I'm surprised no one else has died yet. Hold up. Oh, I tried. That's just bad angle, bad timing, I guess. Lucina, please. Pac-Man, roll into me. Yeah. What? In what world does that not hit anyone? Let's knock this out of there. It doesn't really help me all that much, but we're gonna take that. Okay, that's fine. I was hoping to Hydra. No way my sword didn't reach her. That's some bullcrap. I feel cheated. This is the first match, by the way. Okay, fine. Finally, first match. We're already seeing like a little bit of a sneak peek how today's episode is gonna go. But going into Lucina, she is of course a clone of Marth with identical mobility stats, having the fastest walk speed in the game, above average dash, average fall speed, and low gravity. She is slightly shorter than Marth though, has a smaller hurt box and marginally shorter range. So, you know, take that with what you will. Could be more useful to Lucina, I don't know. The key difference between the two of them is their sword mechanics. So Lucina's parallel falchion has consistent damage and knockback across the blade, where of course, you know, Marth has does more damage and knockback if you were to hit with the tip of the blade. It'll be a lot weaker hitting with the rest of the blade. So yeah, she's a lot more consistent with her sword damage. Marth's falchion is of course has strong tipper hits, but of course weaker sour spots. And Lucina does have consistent power, whereas Marth has higher highs but lower lows. So again, if you want to play that risk, I'd say go with Marth. I like Marth more. I like the tipper hits. It's more of a risk, kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of character for me. So advantages over Marth though, she's got a safer neutral game, she has more shield stun on average, consistent KO potential without requiring tipper precision, stronger individual moves than Marth when his attacks sour spot, for example the up smash, the downer, or the dancing blade, easier, more reliable KO setups like the jab into a forward smash. Also shares Marth's strengths, having fast startup, good range, strong edge guarding, and versatile specials. Dancing Blade has a stronger KO potential, and also Dolphin Slash is a fast recovery option. Oh, I was hoping to get that. What even happened there? Dolphin Slash is a fast recovery option that doubles as a combo breaker. I was so confused on what even happened there. Thank you, Pit. I was about to get a freaking forward smash on Zero Suit there, and you had to ruin everything. Get over here. Get over here. I've played as your clone last episode, and it's time for you to die. You're not the original anymore. I guess he still is, but it doesn't matter. As for shared strengths with Marth, both have good range and safe spacing options. The Shield Breaker punishes shields and rolls and can also aid with recovery. Counter can also punish strong attacks with amplified damage, and the aerials and tilt moves make her a strong edge guarder. So again, very similar in that regard. As for general disadvantages though compared to Marth, she's got no tipper, which makes her have a weaker overall KO potential when compared to Marth's sweet spots, has less threatening neutral since opponents don't have to fear tipper spacing, and still requires spacing to keep moves safe on shield despite having more consistency. So kind of the main differences between the two characters, it's kind of more dependent on like what you're trying to aim for. If you don't mind the high risk kind of gameplay that Marth has, where you're a lot more reliant on your spacing and hitting the tippers to really like do work and damage on your opponents. If you don't mind that, then I think Marth is a very, very solid choice. He's actually, I think, in my personal opinion, just a better character overall, especially in Smash 4. But if you are generally worried about how Lucina might be able to like screw you over and you know, mess you up by like from getting KOs or whatever. Oh, sorry. If you're more concerned about Marth being able to screw you out of getting KOs because of his of the risk that, you know, the tipper mechanic has, then Lucina just gonna have that nice consistency to work better with the majority of players, right? Oh, we're going to a 1v1 against Cloud. I'm kind of down for this, honestly. As for shared weaknesses, though, never mind. I guess Charizard wants to freaking come in, little scumbag. Shared weaknesses that she has with Marth: below average weight and average fall speed, which makes her easy to combo/juggle. She's vulnerable to juggling due to having weak anti-air options. Moves can be pretty laggy and unsafe if poorly spaced. Has no projectiles, which makes her struggle versus zoners. She's got a poor grab game, having low throw damage and also just weak follow-ups, and a very predictable recovery, having a very linear dolphin slash, poor horizontal distance, and can be easily gimped without the double jump. So yeah, some pretty solid ones there. I mean, like, you could obviously expect a lot of the weaknesses that she will have is that Marth will have, she will also have. Can you not, Charizard? That'd be great. Okay, buddy. Get over here. No way, what? Oh, why did everything just like not work in my favor there? Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm just juggling him at this point. I hate, why did I have to fight? Why was I forced to freaking fight Charizard on it out of all stages? This is like insane. Okay, what is even happening? Thank you, get out of here. That was so garbage. I would have so much rather had a 1v1 against Cloud, because that was like one of the worst matches I've had all episodes. Anyways, so like, when it comes to Lucina's overall playstyle, she's kind of like a lower risk, lower reward version of Marth. She is easy to use, more consistent, but lacks the explosive KO power that Tipper has on Marth. She's more fit for players who want a more straightforward spacing / KO character without having to worry about that, again, that spacing precision. She does fare better in some matchups, like, you know, against Pikachu or Captain Falcon, but generally is just less rewarding than Marth is. And despite having a smaller player base, she does have some competitive success. For example, Zero, very infamous player within the Smash scene, made some usage of her back in 2017. So yeah, that's Lucina. I mean, like, nothing really crazy to talk about. She, like I mentioned, she is a lower risk, lower reward character of Marth. I do like that Marth has that high risk, high reward kind of factor to him, playstyle to him, which I don't know. I've always enjoyed that since Brawl, since Melee. So I keep that mentality in my head when going into like Smash 4 or Ultimate, where Marth just feels more, I guess, natural to me than Lucina does, you know what I mean? Especially with like Lucina being such a similar character in like frame data and also just like the mobility and like how the characters work. I like that I like how Marth fits better with that, right, than Lucina does. If that makes any sense, I don't know, just for me, Lucina doesn't fit and work as well as Marth does. But I know a lot of people do like to play Lucina a lot more. She's definitely a lot more of a prominent character to some people. I know in this game, they're relatively equal on the tier list, with Marth being like around like 11th or 12th on the tier list, and Lucina just being like a few spots lower than him. But in Smash Ultimate, if I'm not mistaken, Lucina actually has not only more play than Marth, but is also higher on the tier list. So yeah, surprisingly enough, Lucina actually outshines Marth in Ultimate. It might be due to the fact that Lucina benefits a lot more for more consistent sword damage in Ultimate than Marth does. I don't know what it is, but it seems that Lucina just fares a lot better than Marth does in Ultimate. It also could be just like Marth generally receiving a lot more nerfs when moving into Ultimate, because in my personal opinion, I don't know if this is generally true, but I do feel that Marth is a bit worse in Ultimate. He feels worse in Ultimate than he does in Smash 4. In my personal opinion, I think Ultimate might actually, maybe not even just like personal opinion. This might just be factual, but I'm pretty sure Marth just generally feels a lot worse in Ultimate compared to all the other Smash games, and I'd say Ultimate is generally considered his worst game, his worst Smash iteration. Melee obviously being the best. I think Brawl is like a close second, and then after that would be Smash 4, and then Ultimate is kind of like a bit lower than that. Kind of crazy though, kind of crazy how he was so good in like 3 Smash games back to back, and to back. Oh, if I got that spike, that would have been insane. But then like Ultimate comes around and he just like kind of shoots down on the tier list a little bit, which is, you know, disappointing to me because I actually am a bit of a Marth player in like all of Smash. Like any Smash game, I will like basically play Marth. Just kind of a shame that he... Oh, damn it. It's kind of a shame that he isn't as good as he used to be. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to go for a spike on this Lucina, but it's going to be really damn difficult. There we go, do that. Oh my gosh. She recovers so low. That's what's really getting to me. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Stop! Can you... Okay, fine. Neutral air kill. No spike of Lucina. Not... I try my best. I really try my best, but I just couldn't pull it off. I could not pull it off. I mean, but there we have it. There's Lucina in Classic mode. Still a fun character, though. I mean, like, she does still feel a lot similar to Marth, right, than you would imagine. Obviously, the tipper and the consistent sword, having no tipper, having a more consistent sword damage is a lot, you know, different to what I'm used to, but she still feels good, you know what I mean? She still feels like a very solid sword fighter all around, and one that I can definitely work with, you know what I mean? So, yeah. There we go, pretty solid high score, not bad at all, actually. I mean, that's about it. That's Lucina in Classic mode. Okay, let's get these credits going. I think I remember Marth doing quite well on his credits, so I believe Lucina's gonna do pretty solid as well. She got all the right moves. The neutral air is a really solid option. The forward air is amazing. The up air is gonna be a really good one. Yeah, she's gonna do very well in this. I feel. Let's actually get this top corner real quick because that's gonna be a problem later. I feel. I think it's gonna be a real big problem. If I can hit this, I'm right there. There we go. Much better. Much better. But yeah, I mean, Lucina's really fun. You know, you do... I don't know what else to really say. You do get a more consistent playstyle with her, the more consistent damage and the more consistent output with her, but you don't get the really high rewards that Marth can give you, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, it's like, depending on like what your playstyle is and what you're more comfortable with is, I feel like, who you should go for. I don't really have... I'm trying to think about like friends of mine that tend to like to play Lucina more than Marth. I don't have many. I think most of my friends do prefer Marth over Lucina. I think I have maybe like a few in like Ultimate specifically that do like Lucina more. But I know in like Smash 4, most of my friends do prefer Marth. Or like to anyone who does play Marth in Smash 4, or who does play Smash 4, or just Marth in general, Smash 4 Marth is definitely a lot more preferable to Smash 4 Lucina. I think just Ultimate maybe just like changes the game a little bit, which makes Lucina a lot more of a preferable fighter. I don't know. I'll have to see like with some friends. I want to actually ask, be like, hey, you know, I don't know if this is like your character, but like I want to know what you think about like Marth versus Lucina in Smash Ultimate compared to like Smash 4 or whatever. So I want to see their thoughts on that. Can I actually get this? Hold up. I'm so close. No way. Hold up. There, I got scared. I got so scared. I had to concentrate so damn hard for a second there. Really cool background image though. I got so close to not getting 100%. Way too many close calls these times around. Anyways, let's check out the taunts real quick. So we get the up taunt.
Come at me.
Let's actually go this way.
Come at me.
We got the side taunt.
I cannot lose.
And of course the down taunt. Puts on a mask. Ooh, that could be a reference to something. I don't know what. I mean, I know what it is, but if you know, then you know. Seeing her father at the end, just like with her, is really cool. Yeah, I really wish Chrom was a fighter in this game. I mean, I got my wish in Ultimate, but like still, I would have rather, honestly, I would have much rather had him over Lucina, if I'm being honest. I think he would have just been an overall more original, more unique fighter than Lucina is. Yeah, but what can you do? What can you do? Let's go into the training mode real quick, see what Lucina has in store for her. Overall, I will say, all of her moves, all of her special moves in her Final Smash are the exact same as Marth's. The only difference between all of them is that they have just more consistent damage output and just like general different damage stuff multipliers than Marth does. But going into the Final Smash, we have, of course, the critical hits, which, just like Marth, she dashes forward, and then as she strikes an opponent, she is able to one-shot the opponent. You can be dodged, it can definitely be a dodgeable Final Smash. Also, if you are zooming across, it goes across the entire stage, but if you press the special button at any point during the launch, you can actually cancel the rest of the Final Smash and end it a bit earlier if you're like worried about like, you know, SDing or something like that. So that's critical hits, good solid 60 damage, and also just will one-shot the opponent. Continuing with the other special moves, so we got the neutral special, which is of course the shield breaker, chargeable attack. At the very end of it, it just does a lot of shield damage. Fully charged will fully break a shield, and it can be perfect shielded though, so like just watch out for that. It can absolutely be hit with, you can definitely be hit with a perfect shield that will block the effects of it, but it still does a lot of damage. And is a really good solid killing option. Can also be really good for some great horizontal recovery for the character. Then we have a side special, which is of course, you know, the dancing blade. Does a few sets of sword strikes. Can go in 3 general directions. Can go for a more horizontal horizontal finish. Can go for a more vertical end right there, which makes its sword turn blue. And then finally a more green end at the very bottom. If you go for a more bottom route, ends with like a little bit of a flurry of sword strikes. So yeah, cool little move there. Has some different variants to it depending on like what you're trying to aim for. But yeah, and finally, then we got the up special, which is of course the Dolphin Slash. A very vertical recovery, send really quick strike upwards that Lucina does with her sword. Pretty good added shield option, pretty good killing option from time to time. And yeah, just really good vertical movement, just doesn't really have much horizontal movement to it. And finally the down special, which is of course the counter. Basically just simple counter, just like Marth will counter any attack that's, you know, any physical attack or just any attack that she gets hit with. It has a 1.2 times multiplier to any countered attack, with doing a minimum of 8% damage. So yeah, and that's about it. So again, very similar to Marth, nothing really too special to really talk about, just more of a difference with like not only the look of the character, but also just the properties of like damage output, you know what I mean? So yeah. Anyways, let's check out the trophy real quick. We got Lucina, Chrom's daughter and the future princess of Elise, I guess. When she arrives from a doomed future seeking to prevent it from ever happening, she goes by the name Marth before her identity is revealed. She fights much like her adopted namesake, but her entire blade is equally powerful instead of having a more powerful tip. And of course, the game we have is Fire Emblem Awakening for the Nintendo 3DS. I was not gonna spoil Fire Emblem Awakening and like, you know, her connection to Marth, but like, they decided to do it anyways here, so like, here you go, I guess. She goes by Marth. She hides her identity, goes by Marth in the actual games. That's why she has the mask to kind of like hide her more female characteristics. But yeah, that's about it. So, thank you all so much for watching today's episode of Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. In the next one, we're going to be heading through Classic Mode as the first of the third-party fighters, Pac-Man. So yeah, we got 3 coming up back to back, so I'm pretty excited about these guys. Pac-Man being my least favorite, but we'll get more into that later. So yeah, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Social media, including the Twitch and all the other channels, are of course down in the description, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Pop-Tarts out.